but I think we're live now. We should
Okay.
be.
Yeah, I see
That
a
was
little flashy thing.
yep, that says we're live.
I
This
see
is
it.
how every single one of these start. I'm always like, I think we're good. We're
Oh,
good.
all right.
Well, so you are Lindsay Lexi Wilkins.
Yes, I'm not
The
Lexi anymore. That was a hairdresser name. I'm not that anymore.
Oh, really? I say I just put it off from your Facebook, so I just assumed that was what you.
Oh, so it was a name I used for 7 years because I was a hairdresser and nobody
Oh,
could have the same name. So when someone called and they're like, I want an appointment with Lindsay, they didn't have to be like, which one? And then be like, the blonde one. And it's like, well, they're both blonde or this one
yeah.
just went red. So it was a customer service thing to have a made up name. And so I picked Lexi from Grey's Anatomy,
Oh my
which
God.
dates back when I started hair. And yeah, that was my name for 7 years, but I don't use it anymore. I just
Okay.
used it back then.
Wow. Okay, that explains that. I just assumed it was like your middle name and you or whatever you went with it.
Nope, just my
Just your
pseudo
great
name for a while, and then it
good
makes
old.
my Facebook really easy to find, so I kept it.
That is true. That is
Yep.
true. Well, and on Instagram, you are the Grow Fit, or no, I
The
wrote it down.
grow
The
worthy
Growworthy
The
underscore
grow-worthy underscore fit mom,
Fit
which
Mom.
I
Yeah.
should change it, but I don't want to lose people either. But grow-worthy is my fitness brand, my fitness team,
Uh-huh.
because for me, it started a lot with the personal growth and all the changes that came, or what made me then want to coach other people.
Mm-hmm.
And also just wanting this feeling of worthiness and worth, and kind of that it could mean both that you are grow worthy and then also that you can grow into your worthiness. So
Ooh,
that's my coaching team name, and that's where that comes from.
oh, how cool.
Yeah.
What made you switch from hairdressing into like health and fitness training?
It kind of happened to me. I was always that person that dabbled in working out, that would like get a
Mm-hmm.
yoga pass in the wintertime when it was cold and a hot yoga studio felt good. Or if a personal trainer friend was like, hey, let's work out, I'd be like, sure, this is fun and free training. But I never really stuck to it for myself. It was always just certain seasons of life I would do it.
Right.
And I had been really in shape right before having my first baby. My husband and I were asked to be in workout videos. So we did like a 90-day transformation with a personal trainer who was
Oh,
local.
wow.
Yeah. So she was trying to tape her own like P90X, except local, and we were the cast. And
Oh
so
my
we got
God.
really in shape. And then we used being in shape to like elope. And then 6 months later, I was pregnant and we were having kids. And so at that point, I was still pretty good about all the things we had learned from working with a personal trainer. But after having a baby, I just couldn't lose the weight. So I tried literally in the delivery room or like the hospital room after having a baby in the middle of the night. The T25 commercial was playing all night, and I woke up and Nick's like, we have to get this. And I was like, okay. So the day we got home from the hospital, he bought T25 off of the like website infomercial.
Yeah.
And I started doing it. I was feeling great. I was feeling stronger, but I wasn't losing any weight postpartum. And so I like
Yeah.
gave up. I went back to work and I had postpartum depression, but I didn't know it and was just kind of like, screw it. I guess I just have a mom bod now. Like, there's no help for
Yeah.
me. Will work before isn't working now. So after 3 months, our wedding photographer posted that she had also just had a baby not that long ago. She's like 5 kids. She'd adopted 2 back to back. And so she's like, I'm
Whoa.
going to lose my mom pooch. I'm going to do this T25 workout and I'm going to drink this shake that goes with it too. And I was like, if she's just gonna do the exact same workout I did, but then also drink this shake, like, and lose weight, then I'm gonna do that part too. So I told her, I was like, don't sign me up for like any business. I'm not gonna work any business
Yeah.
ever, but like, give me a discount. Sure, I'm gonna just try that shake. I've already got the DVD. So I started drinking the shake and lost 11 pounds in my first 3 weeks. And that was all that I changed. And after that, I was sharing it every day on social media. This was back in
Yeah.
2014 that I had lost weight, that I was doing this at home DVD. And
Mhm.
people started coming, asking me for help, asking to sign up. And that's kind of how I started coaching. So it naturally became that I just really enjoyed sharing it. And I enjoyed doing it and sharing it more than I enjoyed doing hair. And then I also started making more money doing it than I was making doing hair. And so I transitioned out of being behind the chair and transitioned to being full time home.
Wow. Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, is that something that you, how do I say this? I mean, did you ever think you were going to give up doing hair? Was it like already not a right fit for you, or was just this the better fit?
It was a little of both. So definitely
Okay.
a better fit. I had definitely had ambitions at the salon that I was at in
Sure.
moving into management and doing more for the company. But honestly, I had been on track. I thought I had already been an educator. I was teaching other new people how to cut men's hair there and growing in a lot of different ways. I got hair price increases every 11 months. Every time I could, I was like earning the next promotion. And I
Yeah.
got stuck in a place, especially after having a baby. A lot of the numbers are based on how busy you are and how much retail you sell. So having that time off like
Yeah.
wrecked my productivity.
Oh my God.
Because you lose clients and your hours are different. And so it made it hard to continue growing and increasing
Yeah.
my prices. And your ideals change when you're a mom. You're like, I don't want to work
Yeah.
more to make more. I want to work less and make more.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
saw the cap of my growth in the hair industry, and I was like, that ain't it anymore. That doesn't
Yeah.
work with being a mom. So this being able to do fitness at home took over as the better fit for sure.
Yeah. Actually, I was just listening to on Audible, and I can't remember the exact name. It was like it's an Oprah book. Okay,
Yeah.
that I just got. That's it's about like finding your purpose, and there was a great quote in it that is about like how your purpose is fluid, like it changes over time. You might set out with one purpose, and it's going to adjust, and like you have to adjust with it and just go with it. And so,
Yeah.
like even though that's not something you ever would have imagined, that's like where it's going, and you followed it. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, fitness made me realize that it wasn't hair that I was passionate about. And I knew that. I knew I wasn't passionate about hair, but I knew I was good at it. And I
Yeah.
knew that I liked how I made people feel. I liked taking care of them. And so it made sense
Mm.
that my theater background was that I liked making people feel good.
Yeah.
My hairdressing was like making people feel good. And then fitness is helping people feel good. So
Feel
they're
good.
not different. They all serve that same purpose. Mhm.
Oh wow, that's such an interesting. I never would have made that connection. But yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. That is all the same. Well,
serving others.
that's how
Yeah.
we met. For the people
Yeah.
who don't know, we met at good old Medina County Community Theater
To
Protection.
Oklahoma.
Was it Oklahoma or Annie first? I can't remember.
Oh, were you in Annie
I was
too?
in
Annie
Annie.
would have been first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Annie would have been first, but I remember getting close to you in
Yes.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, that was the one that I'm really started like hanging out with you guys at.
That's when we were all old enough to have a digital camera, and that's I think why it sticks in your mind because we took pictures.
Yeah, but like mine were always the date was like from the year 3004 because
Oh
it was
yeah,
like
everything says like 2037 and
yeah, it was like just insane future years because I know how to set the calendar or the time on
yep.
it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The digital camera. I remember making like burned CDs, mixtapes of like Broadway musicals. Like,
Yeah, I always had friends who would like burn their CDs for me, so I didn't
yes.
have to pay for them. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I remember there was like a group from that theater group. We all like one night. I think we went to Rachel's and made a mixed CD of Broadway hits.
Probably. I definitely remember being at Rachel's house. I can't remember what
Yeah.
we did. I just know we had a girls' night of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, I think we had a sleepover at my house too. I think we had like several sleepovers that
Several
year.
during that show. Yeah. Well, that was just a little reminiscing. Yeah, but that's how we moved with how the musical theater background, and it is fun. I think a lot of times, and we see this a lot with like people cutting budgets and arts and stuff like that. Like people see it as it's like arts and that's it. And it's like, no, 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 that is a transferable skill. Like just
Yeah.
because you're a musical theater nerd in high school does not mean you're necessarily going to go on to Broadway, although it's great if you do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. But it also doesn't mean that those skills are useless if you don't. Like those skills transfer into so many
Mm-hmm.
different levels of careers and places. I mean, it's great. So yeah, I
Building
don't know.
confidence, self-awareness, presence, communicating, being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. For me, I'm someone who's like, I'm really an introvert, but I like to extrovert. I
Mm,
always felt like the weird oddball, and I liked theater because it was like, just do whatever, and it's not you
yeah,
being dumb, it's that character being dumb. So like,
right.
play around with it, and you got to really find out how comfortable you could be around people, and express something that was yourself, but you could, have this facade of a character, and then feel like
Mhm.
it was safe to show that personality again to those people in real life and really know them and be
Yeah.
seen.
Do you find that within your coaching group? Do you have that sort of same freedoms
See,
within
I
it,
feel like
or?
I find that in social media. For me,
Oh,
before I got into coaching, everything was on lockdown. I'd had some issues with people bullying me on the internet. So I was like, everything, you could not find me unless you were already my friend. And when it came to coaching and realizing that I had the potential to make it my career, I had to decide that that one person I knew was for sure judging me was going to anyways, and all it was
mhm.
doing was hurting me to hold back. And so I decided that I don't know, am I allowed to curse on here? I don't give an
Yeah, no
F. I was
problem.
like, oh, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to people cuss or not. I don't give a
My
crap. Don't even
husband
look
is
at
the one
me.
who's cursed the most on these
Oh,
videos.
okay, cool.
Yeah, to my
Because I
mom's
got the
like,
F
"Oh my
bombs, and my dad says, like, please don't do that. But, anyways,
god."
I just decided that I didn't care, like, who didn't like it. If
Yeah.
it felt like me, if it felt fun, if it was my personality, if it was something I felt like I wanted to share, and one person thought it was worth it, then that one
Yeah.
person was way better than someone else not thinking it. Or even more so, there's that one person that judges you, but then there's 10 that love you. And that's the
Yeah.
relationship that I've come to know and love on social media. I don't have many haters. I've only gotten like 2 hateful comments in my whole life, and mostly it was like, clean your house instead of working out. Like, it's just like dumb stuff. Like, I'm good, thanks.
And what, like, was it your mom, like, clean your house?
No, it was like a random hater that was like basically hating on the, if I had all this time to work out, I should have time to clean my house. And I'm like,
Oh my
no, I
god.
prioritized my
Yeah.
health over cleaning my house. I'm okay with a little mess.
Yeah, right. Your house has been very clean in all the videos I've seen.
Well, now it is. Now that we live here, there's a basement, so we can
Oh,
hide a lot. And I try to at least kind of clear the living room area. But if you go back to my old fitness videos, and before we had a couch, because we went several years without a couch, it was just,
uh,
there was just anything goes in the
yeah.
background.
Well, it's hard with kids,
Yeah.
especially. I just have one, and I was taking a video of her today, just kind of marching around and singing, and I was like, "This is so cute." And as it's like going from room to room, following her, I was like, "I could never post this. This is never." There's like clutter piles everywhere, everywhere. She just is like a little tornado. She runs through and like throws things around and messes things up. And you've got two of them, so I can't even imagine.
Oh yeah, I can't keep up with it at all. I try. I try really hard, but there's no keeping up with it.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. How old are your kids now?
So Aoife's gonna be a quarantine birthday. Hers is
Oh,
next week. She's gonna be 6.
oh,
And Maeve is, oh my gosh, is she 3 now? She's 3. So they're 3 and
wow.
6. Hmm.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, that's especially the age of like running into
Yes.
getting into stuff.
Yes. It's like the age too where they can also clean up, but they definitely don't want to. So like before this call was a frustrating 45 minutes of me yelling at them to clean the basement. So that was
Mhm.
my night.
Okay, mine's almost 2. She's gonna be 2 in the beginning of May, and she's already started doing the "No, you do this," and I'm like, "What?"
Oh.
It's already begun. I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Okay, you got to clean this up." No, you clean it up.
Oh my goodness.
Where'd you- But then the problem is too, we think it's so cute that we're like, "Oh, it's so
Okay.
cute that you say that," but it's like, no, no, actually, no, you're not supposed to. That's very rude, you know. But I think we like encourage some bad habits just because it's so cute when she does it.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, yeah. Well, so I saw the video the other day that you're posting, or the post that you did about how you were trying to work out and your kids are interrupting.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I mean that's the challenge with that home workouts.
Yeah, so you really just have to build your habits around it.
Hmm.
It's something, like I said, I've done it since 3 months postpartum with Aoife.
Hmm.
And in the beginning, when I still was working at the salon, I had to get up to a traditional job. I would do it really, really early in the morning, like when
Hmm.
babies had a more predictable sleep schedule, nap schedule, and I could get up. I'd get up and I would pump, and then I would leave the bottle out for my husband, and he was in charge. I would work out, and then I would go to work.
Yeah.
So there really was no like mom time at all in the mornings. I would just get what I had to get done and then work out, and she wasn't around. And if I didn't get that in, I'd do it when I got home at night.
Mm.
And sometimes she'd be crawling all over me or whatever, but it's something she's always been used to and used to kind of joining in any way that they can or the attention span that they have. And I try to always be as accepting as I can of that. Like if you
Yeah.
saw the videos with Maeve, it's okay, you want to work out, I put out your mat, I put out your little weights, and then if you want to throw a fit, throw a fit, but I'm not stopping what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm going to like let you have your space and I have my space. And they've always been really respectful of this is my mat and like just don't touch mom's mat, and they'll be like running around me and doing crazy stuff or whatever. But when you want to have a habit of working out, you just have to show your kids you're not changing. Like this is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do. You can scream, yell, you need a snack. My kids are old enough, they know how to get it. Like they sometimes it would turn into putting on their favorite show and bribing them with like 30 minutes of tunes while I work out or whatever it is. And they just know that like that's my time. And so now that they're older, now that I've been doing it for so long, I really can do it any time of the day, and they're gonna mostly leave me alone, or they're gonna be interested in it and usually cutely join along. But I
Oh,
hear that from a lot of moms, like, oh, I could never with my kids at home. And I'm like, not with the behaviors they have now, but
right.
you have to just keep showing them how you want them to show up when it's your time to work out,
Hmm.
and they'll get used to it. They'll survive. It's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, even
And
45 to an hour. That's a show. That's giving them a coloring book. That's giving them a snack. Like do it during a snack time or something. You know that there's an hour a day your kids ignore you. Find it and work out.
well, and the benefits of that, I think, would outweigh like the discomfort of them wanting to get, interrupt it. Like that
Yeah.
is eventually going to go away, but like you showing them the importance that fitness has, and you as a mom showing them the importance of like your own self-care has, is something that's a lesson they're going to take with them forever. So I think that outweighs the little bit of like upfront discomfort of like, oh, my kid's climbing all over me, and like,
Yeah. Yeah, it
yeah.
totally does. When you see any behavior that your kid picks up on,
Mhm.
any kind of coaching or giving them to say
Yeah.
things or deal with conflict in a certain way, it's really rewarding. It's really rewarding to see them play workout. Or Aoife will even say that she wants to be a hairdresser when she grows up, and then she wants
Oh.
to be a fitness girl. And I'm like, okay.
Aw, that's so cute. Um, what do you say? So right now, and I'm not even quite sure how to word this question. I was trying to before
Yeah.
getting on the call, and all I wrote is "How do you?" So like that's as far as I got, because I'm like, I'm not sure how to word this. But right now,
Yeah.
we're in this really strange time where people are very much, they want to be caring for themselves, and but there's this kind of weird line between like giving into like, well, I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat ice cream all day long, and calling that self-care versus like, no, it's time to get up, it's time to like do a workout, it's time to do something that's maybe not comfortable but is in the long run better for you. I mean, how do you encourage your own team members and stuff to sort of stay motivated during this time?
Yeah. So I've struggled with it too, and I've definitely gained like 2 to 5 pounds because of just giving into peanut butter cookies from Aldi's that are amazing. And the Easter candy that's around and all
Yeah.
those things. And for me, when I'm anxious or stressed, it's either that I don't want to eat at all or I constantly snack. And this quarantine time has shown up in that.
Yeah.
I've always been someone who would rather eat whatever I want and then work out harder.
Mm.
So I'm just keeping up with those same habits. And I had to shift what I was doing. So changing the goal. Sometimes I do a workout, or before everything, we were supposed to go on a big vacation that we earn actually through coaching every year to Punta Cana. And it got canceled because of the travel worries, even before the bans came down and the Dominican shut down the day we would have gone anyway. So we're like, okay, like we can feel better that the country literally would have told us no. But my goal, or my point, what was motivating me before all this to work out, and to work out really hard, and to do the plan that I was doing, was looking good on that vacation.
Oh,
And
right.
the best way to motivate yourself is to have that short-term goal, that reward, that thing that's going to be at the end of it. And I think the issue with a lot of people is not knowing when the end of this is. And so it's easy to be like, I've still got time. This might be another 2 months. This might be all the way through May. This might not be till June that I'm working again, or whatever. And so it feels very much like, well, what's the point? Like, there's no end game. So having some actual tangible thing that's a reason why at the end of this you're going to be better is definitely helpful. And then maybe even just focusing on the feel. So for me, it went from these really hard workouts that I was even kind of doing 2 at once because I knew that it would change my body in the ways that I really like and how I wanted to feel right before vacation, to needing to change to a workout that was just really fun, that was short, that mentally, like, I didn't have to think about it much because it's timed and there's music, and it's not like a workout where you're counting to 10. It's a workout where, she's just going to tell you, and it's going to actually be 4 counts of 8, but you're not even going to notice because it's to music and she's commenting and it's fun. So really noticing what triggers you, what motivates you, having something like that, maybe that's more guided versus even just whatever your trainer's given you to do, or whatever you remember from being an athlete when you were younger. Or if you're mentally dragging yourself to it, then you're picking the wrong workout. And that's why I really love the programs I get to work with now. It's all streaming on an app. And so there's tons of things there. And so I completely changed, and I changed my plan a couple times. I had been doing this one that was really hardcore, that was really rep space, that I know builds my butt, builds my abs in ways that I love. But when I didn't have a vacation to like have a really poppin' booty on, I didn't care as much. That was my goal. And they were hour-long workouts that I didn't care. So I had to switch to something that just made my body feel really good, like this bar program I just did that gave me more mobility, that made me feel like my posture was better instead of all day sitting like this. I don't know if you guys are noticing how bad it feels at the end of the day in your body, but doing more workouts that were focused on my upper body, on good posture, helped me feel better during this quarantine. And then switching from there to one, like I said, that was just really fun, that is meant to be 100 workouts in a row. And so it's something to kind of take my mind beyond this quarantine time. So I'm not thinking about a vacation anymore. I'm thinking like, oh, just complete 100 workouts. And hopefully by the time 100 workouts are done, so is this. But you never know. And then, having people is definitely part of what changed it way back when. And being on the coaching side of it now, sometimes it feels like I don't have my people as much. But what we do use, we switched to using the Marco Polo app. So if you don't have that, I recommend it for using even with friends. But having an app for us to check in at the end of our workout and be like, hey, it went great today, or oh, I ate too many Easter candies, or whatever. And so we're just sending each other little video memos, and you feel really connected to these people that are all over the country. And kind of we've had chats like, I had to go grocery shopping today and it sucked, and that has nothing to do with fitness, but still to have like your fitness people to talk about that stuff, about what might make getting into your workout hard because mentally these other things are going on. It's really been a game changer.
Oh, wow. How many people do you coach?
So my team's gotten smaller because I had a big period of growth, and then I went home, and you think, oh, I've got all the time in the world. And then like this, you just are like, I've got all the time in the world, I'm going to be lazy. And then I had another baby. So we've got maybe 10 to 20 girls that I still would say are like active.
That's still a lot though. That's a lot.
So my organization, I still have about 30 coaches who are under me personally. And, I think they still do the workouts. We don't always necessarily check in as much as we used to. But they're there and we can check in whenever. I'm here for them at any point, but it's a nice little community.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Um, I want to kind of jump back. I mean, so you talked a little bit about postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I mean, we're obviously a lot of people are experiencing that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, beyond the workouts, what else was something that sort of helped you through that?
That's a good question. I honestly feel like it's workouts. It's the one place in
Mainly.
my life that I have my shit together personally.
Yeah,
So I know no matter what, I will always work out because if I don't, that's when I slip into depression. So just
yeah,
knowing for me that that was a trigger.
uh-huh,
And I think I went undiagnosed for so long because right in the beginning when I was feeling my crappiest, I started working out because I wanted these physical results. And then I got all these mental and psychological results without realizing that I didn't get diagnosed till my baby was almost a year. And
yeah,
then looked back at the year and thought, oh shit, like I was depressed this whole time and
yeah.
saying,
That's what that
oh, but
was.
it's not so bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it is, I personally just, my journey with depression have realized that physically moving my body is the biggest thing that helps me. And then just other rituals of feeling like I did things to take care of myself, to check in with my mind state, doing a gratitude journal on the days that I can remember to, but changing your gratitudes to be really small things versus
Yeah.
really big things. So,
Mm.
for anyone who does gratitude journaling or has heard of it but not quite sure, the way that it actually scientifically works is not to name the big things over and over and over until someday you feel gratitude or it just makes you happier that every day you're happy you have a house and a husband and a baby and all the things. It's that you say, wow, my cup of coffee today was so good, or I'm so glad that I did that live stream with Kelly, or
Yeah.
the snow was beautiful even though it's April. But those fleeting moments to take
Yeah.
a minute and actually notice the tiny little blessings in your day will then trigger your brain to tomorrow want to remember those things. So when you're going to write at the beginning, maybe writing one or two is hard. It might be that you have gotten on a negative mindset, especially if you're looking and scrolling through a lot of social media and lots of people
Yeah.
complaining or worrying or all those things. You're gonna start looking for that and suddenly feel like everything's gloom and doom. But if you want to help with the mental side of things, start looking for the positive things. And then the next day, 3 is going to be really easy. There are days where I could write like 20 now because there's just so many little tiny moments of just like Maeve's laugh or Aoife giving me a kiss. And maybe
Yeah.
she's kissed me before and I loved it, but then I just noticed it.
Mhm.
And that really helps me to mentally unhook from so many of the negative stuff you can get caught on,
Oh, for
especially with
sure.
depression.
That is so funny that you brought that up because that's actually literally I posted that in the group today of like I'm gonna start making it a point to feel grateful and I've like set an alarm for 11:11 every day and it's like
Yeah,
every time that alarm goes off I need to like stop and just be grateful for whatever it is that I'm in life. But I like that you focus on small stuff. That's a
yeah,
very interesting point. I like
yeah,
that a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
The
yeah,
happiness, sorry, the book The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker is where like the actual study behind it came, where he figured out that it wasn't just saying everyday things that you're grateful for that are the
yeah.
big things. He realized it had to be specific and little.
And little. Wow, that's so interesting. Because I feel like I the few times I've done sort of gratitude journaling, like every single time it just and here's my list again. It's
Yeah,
almost like you're writing like a kid being punished, writing the same lines over and over again on the chalkboard, like my house and my family.
yeah,
And even though it's like it doesn't change, of course I'm grateful for those things, but like it loses its meaning after saying that over and over again. So I love that point of like,
yeah,
yeah, just focus on small things and be grateful for that. um, I really think that's, I don't know. It's just something that came to me today there. I was like, oh, that's what I'm missing that during all of this.
yeah,
And it's funny too, because I feel like social media wise, we went from being depressed over everyone posting their highlight reels and like it's like, oh my gosh, everyone's doing so great and I'm not, and like, oh, I'm so depressed about it. And now it's like everyone's posting about how horrible they're doing and it's like, oh, I'm so depressed, everyone's horrible. Like it's just a constant level of depression for
yeah. No matter
most
what,
of
it's
us.
just always doomed.
Yeah, yeah. And I think social media, like I'm very involved in social media. You are obviously too, but
Yeah,
it's I have a love-hate with it for sure because of that. Like it's just different people's posts can totally affect what how I feel if I'm not careful anyways, if I don't like take it with a grain
Yeah.
of salt.
No, that's a
Yeah.
really good point. I forget about that because I think in the beginning of making social media basically my career, like that's where I
Yeah.
have to find people and prospect and network.
Mhm.
I vetted it very quickly, and I've got strict rules about, if I follow someone new and then they're complaining every day, I'm unfollowing them right away. And
Yeah.
adding into, like, if I'm in a really bad depressive slump, then I'll make sure I'm going and following celebrities or like life coaches and content creators that they're intentionally posting with a purpose versus
Mhm.
the everyday person is just sharing, right? But a
Yeah.
content creator is thinking, when I post this, what value does it add? Where other
Mhm.
people are saying, what do I want people to know about me? And so making sure I have
Wow.
enough of content creators that I'm following. TikTok has brought me joy, but you have to also, like, my husband got on TikTok and he's like, I deleted it. It was horrible. It was all these 13-year-olds doing like pranks. They're talking about their boyfriends cheating and all this stuff. I'm like, then you weren't on it long enough for it to figure you out. Or you
Mhm.
watched too many of those and it kept giving you those. So if you think your social media sucks or your social media makes you sad, think about how you use it. The same with like
Yeah.
ads. If I'm seeing ads that are like BuzzFeed, like click Reddit, like 12 things that happened in a surgery room you'd never believe, and I was reading them and like, why am I reading this crap? I started
Yeah.
blocking
It's
all those
give you
ads. I
more
didn't
and
even
more.
realize they were there, right? So really make sure that you do go and like audit your social media from time to
Yeah.
time and get rid of those people that don't make you feel good. And
Mhm.
sometimes people, the same person will make you feel good in a season of life, and the next season of life they don't. So I will follow and unfollow and follow and unfollow as I personally need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you. So you like TikTok? I haven't been on it yet. I have no idea. I've just sort of like
Oh, it's
seeing.
addictive. It's addictive if you find good creators. So that's what I was saying. So finding the people that you like. So it's really cool because it does also kind of show you people that are close to you. So you'll realize there's other
Oh,
people from Ohio that you're like following that are viral or not.
yeah.
That the real people in your life show up if they're on there. And then it really does start to notice like what kind of things you like, if you liked them actually, or if you maybe just watched them a couple times, or maybe you sent them to a friend. Like that's my love language right now, is sending ones that made me laugh to the people I love, or people that I think will find it funny, or I'm like, you need to make this one, like this joke is so
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
So yeah.
how funny.
But it
Well,
sucks your time, so you have to be careful. I did set a time limit on my social media because of that one. I could spend a whole hour and not even realize it.
well, I feel like that's the curse of social media too. I mean, that's it's addictive in and of itself for real. Like the way it's designed is to
Yeah.
be addictive, and so I will find myself like kind of scrolling, and then I'm like, oh wait, oh where'd that time go? Oh, like, okay.
Yeah.
And I've got like I post for social media for a couple different businesses, so like it's my job, like you, it's my job to be on social media, and so I'll be there, but then I'll
Yeah.
also end up getting sidetracked and wasting time on it. So it is one of those things that like a love-hate relationship with it, that's for
Totally.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how how overall like is your family handling this? I know like I mentioned in the comment earlier, so you guys are moving, which is
Yes.
it's a crazy timing for that.
It is crazy timing. So with the gratitude journaling, I'll just go back. I love Rachel Hollis. If you don't follow Rachel Hollis, I recommend her as someone to be a motivational person in your life. But she has a journal that you do 5 gratitudes every morning and then your 10 big dreams. So like big, hairy, audacious goals. In 10 years, you do, speak your truth of the things that you want to have happened. And one that I write every day is, I own my dream house by the beach. And I've always said that I wanted to live in Florida. And so when I started doing these journals like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'd shared that with my husband, like, I want to live in Florida. And so he's like, well, yeah, like that'd be great. And I'm like, no, like
We're gonna
someday
make
we
it
will.
happen.
We're
Yeah.
going to live in Florida. But really with my job, I could go right now, right? And he had a job that was here. So it was dependent more so on his job changing.
Mhm.
And he'd been job searching on and off for like 2 years, not really happy in his current position.
Mhm.
And I would say we were in a lull where he had not been applying for a while, to my knowledge. And out of nowhere, a company contacted him and were like, we saw your resume. Can you interview this week? And he was like, sure. And they liked him, and they're like, can you interview again? And he's like, sure. Yeah. And then they liked him and they hired him, and it was within 2 weeks, out of nowhere. He just interviewed and got a job in Florida.
That's amazing.
And just like told them that he could start in April. So he, which was only like 3 weeks ago that this all happened. So it was very fast. Beginning of March, I think, was when he like had the whole interview process and got the job, and then moved the end of March down there. It was a little bit scary with this time. He said he took no pee breaks. He stopped and got gas like however many times he needed to. He's like, I didn't even pee. And I'm like, I'm glad you didn't touch any like public toilets.
Yeah, right.
Stayed with his parents one night and then moved into an apartment the next day. So he's got his own little place down there and a short-term lease while we finish up our lease here, and then stick around because of my dad and his health issues. And I really don't know when we're going to go. And when we said yes to doing this long distance thing, it certainly was part of a world where we could fly and see each other for a weekend if we needed to. And that's not the reality right now. So he's been gone just over 2 weeks. This might be kind of rounding out the end of 3, and it's hard.
I guess.
It's hard. I'm finding my stride as like single mama though. Like I will say it's easier when there's just your own mess, even if it's more mess than when someone else lives with you. You know that you made it, and so there's just less mental tension.
That's very true. I find that all the time with my husband, where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you left this can over there. And like, meanwhile, there's just like piles of dishes over here that I left. But like, it's like that one, ooh, but you left that, you know?
Yes, exactly. So I definitely find it easier mentally to deal with like if the house is a wreck, or if I have a really productive day that then the house isn't a wreck, then I just, you know, it's all on me either way. It's all good. And recruiting my daughter to help more. So like she feeds the cat now, which is really nice. I don't have to feed the cat anymore. So it's cool to have this but it's hard. It's hard not knowing when we'll actually be together because of this. And we were just discussing today, what would travel look like? Would it be possible for us to come down a couple weeks since we're homeschooling anyways? Would I take the kids? How would that look? And we just couldn't figure out a way to feel safe about doing it. And so that really sucks. But we Skype, FaceTime every night for dinner and just try and keep some normalcy and have family dinner and talk a lot through the day. So in ways it does feel like he's still around. But we're just dealing with how we can until we can be together.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, I really, I give you a lot of credit for your inner strength, because that is very, very hard. It's hard to do. I mean, especially right now. Yeah, I remember my husband went on a work trip that took him away for 3 months. This was back when my daughter was not even 1 yet. Okay, so she's just a baby. He had to go for 3 months, and like just that was so hard. It was like so hard, and that was with one baby who wasn't even like really walking around yet, you know. So I mean, to have 2 kids in the middle of a pandemic when everything's uncertain, like that is very, very hard. But that's, you know, I give a lot of credit to the, you know, inner and outer work, because as you said, workouts are so like helpful that you're doing to keep you going and keep you sane.
That is like I said, that's the one thing in my life I have together, always, every day. The rest of it could go either way.
Well, I love that about the dream journal that you brought up. That's incredible.
Yes.
I think that is something that I think that's going to be an important thing for people to do. And I've actually this call is going amazing, by the way, because you've brought up so many issues that I'm like, wow, I was like thinking about that earlier. Like one thing is like visualizing success is so important. And I'm like, why aren't we all visualizing success for this? Like, why aren't we all just dreaming, you know, writing down our how many dreams are you supposed to write? 5? 10. Okay, so you write down like our 10 big dreams for what we're going to do once we're out of this, and just like keeping that sort of end goal in mind. And I think we'll have a much more pleasant experience quarantine if we keep those bigger picture items in our mind and keep our goals in our mind.
Totally. And a part of that too, because I think honestly, what might be hard for someone who hasn't yet, hadn't already had a practice of visualizing to the future, and now the future being so uncertain, I think that'd be very hard to sit down. Like when I first actually went to kind of revise what my 10 were, or I actually got this dream journal for my mom because I thought it would help her. It was very hard to think of 10 years because of my dad's health. And so you think about 10 years and you first think about that person not being there, right? So with this, we might think about when this over and what we've lost. Yeah. We might lose, or all the hardships now, the ways life will be different. And it's hard to think of, well, like, what do I even want? Right. If all this sadness has come from this time, right? So instead of just those big dreams, if you're struggling with, well, what do I even want my career to be like when right now I don't have a job? Or how could I even want a nice house when right now people are struggling with XYZ? Right. To also have some of those 10-year dreams that are, what kind of person do I want to be? Because that's something you can focus on right now. And even though I write it as a future thing, it is something that I'm growing myself. So like, for me, one of the things that I write is I'm an exceptional wife, mother, and friend. Yeah. I still want to be that in 10 years, but also I want to be that today. And so I think with that intention of, well, what do I need to do today to be an exceptional wife? And so from that feeling of wanting to be an exceptional wife came the idea that we'd still Skype for dinners. So from that idea of wanting to be an exceptional mother, I have more patience with my kids homeschooling them. From wanting to be a great friend, that's remembering to have my friends still get on a house party with me every couple of weeks and see each other's faces and make sure everyone's doing okay. And so it's good to also, as much as having the things that you attain or achieve or accomplish or the success, to also have being goals about what kind of person you want to be that maybe you show up as already, but you want to keep getting better at, or you're actually not great at and you want to be better. Maybe you want to be more generous. And then being more generous can be tied into having an amazing job that there's a lot of money and abundance for you. So then you can do that. But you can be generous right now. And so it's having those things to build on that are being goals as much as having or doing goals.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think right now, since there is a lot of an uncertainty, I know they always say like be very specific with your goals, but like you said, right now it's hard to be specific with that kind of stuff. And I think it's okay too if right now it's just how you want to feel. Like it's just like, I just don't want to feel miserable anymore every day. That's that's great. Write that down of just like your goals that you feel happy or grateful or whatever. I think that in itself is a worthy goal and enough to keep you going. So that's really all it is. I mean, really, it's whatever gives you peace of mind to keep you going through this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Because a lot of times you'll hear people, not be like, well, what's the point of that? What does that do? And it's like, well, I don't know, but like, what doesn't it do? Yeah, like it's so like, wait, is it any crazier than anything else? Like, so many leaders in the world attribute having, visualization and gratitude as being like such an important aspect to success. That's like, well, yeah, but why not?
Yeah. You might as well do it. Just like wearing your mask out. It's not going to hurt you to wear a mask, but it might help you to wear a mask. So just wear a mask. So just do
it. Just everybody wear a mask.
Just have some goals written down. They might not help you, but they might. So do it.
So just do it. I would say the same thing goes, like any routine is hard to start. It just is. And in this time of uncertainty, it may feel extra hard to start, but it's like, if you just get through it hour by hour, where it's like, okay, I'm going to work out right now, and I'm just going to sort of take it minute by minute and like see how it goes. Those kind of baby steps, they'll get you going. They'll give you momentum. It's the same thing with practicing gratitude or just doing anything. It's just like, just baby step it through. And I think that's going to be how we all get through this, of just like taking things as it comes, because nobody really knows right now.
Yeah. I would say to that too, with anything, think about adding things into your life instead of taking away. So when you're trying
Mm,
to change this time, I'm not trying to take away your Netflix time. I'm not trying to
yeah,
take away just like staying in bed, sleeping in, or eating the cookies. I'm not
yeah,
taking that away from myself.
right.
But I'm making sure I'm adding in the joyful moments, right? I'm making sure I'm very diligent about the gratitudes. I'm adding in more water. I'm adding in the
Mm,
positive and focused on that versus being like, oh, okay, I'm going to put the cookies away and I can't have the cookies anymore. And that's what's going to make me better during quarantine. Don't take away from yourself, especially in a time of stress. Don't take away. Focus on
yeah.
what you can add.
Oh, wow. That's such a great point.
Yeah. So you can still
Well,
have those cookies if you want them, but maybe if you're
yeah,
working out, you don't want them anymore.
right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or if you're drinking water, because that's like the other.
Yeah.
I'm horrible about that. I've got my cup here. I carry it with me like everywhere because I'm like just keep
Just
drinking
carry it around with you.
it. Just keep
I've been
drinking
really
it.
bad about water for quarantine. That's the habit I'm trying to add in right now. So I just
Mhm.
fill up a bunch of water bottles for my daughters and I fill up 2 for me now. So they're just there. They're an addition to what our life was, making it easier for us right now to remember.
Yeah, drink water. Water's gonna help too.
Yes. Mhm.
And then you can be like, I'm grateful for the sip of water as you're drinking it. Cover all the
Sometimes it
bathroom.
is. Sometimes it
Mhm.
is though. Like a cold, like chugging half a water bottle feels
Yeah.
so good sometimes.
Well, you're such an inspiration and you're so positive. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've really enjoyed the conversation.
This was great. I miss you. I just
I
saw like a
miss you
year
too.
ago was the time hop of when we went with the girls to play together. So
Oh my
when we
God.
can go back to normal life, let's do it again.
Yes, please. I would enjoy that a lot.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me again,
Yeah, of course.
Lindsay, non-Lexi
Not
Wilkins.
Lexi.
Non- well, we'll talk soon in real life.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Bye.
Stay sane.